Okay, I want to go over the process of sharpening a card scraper, which is an oft misunderstood tool. Now, since this one has been sharpened already, we need to first remove the burr before we start the process. So I'm going to take a file and just hit it sideways and take that old burr off of it. And a burr is just a folded edge of steel. All right. Now, there are 3 steps to sharpening a scraper. The first one is to square the edge, meaning taking these 2 parallel faces and making the center edge, which is 1/32 of an inch thick, square or perpendicular to both of these faces. 90 degrees basically is what we're looking for. So the first step is square the edge, and we use a file for that. The second step that we will be doing is first laying the burr down, number 2, and 3, bringing the burr back, which gives us the cutting edge. So you would be wise to note those 3 steps. Square an edge, lay the burr down, roll the burr back. All right, for the first step of squaring the edge, I'm going to put it in my vise, and I said I'm going to use this mill file. All right, now this is a single cut mill file with all of the cutting edges going in an angle this way. And if they're going in an angle on this face, they're going on the opposite angle on the opposing face. So to file this edge, I'm going to take my ring finger and put it on the edge of the scraper, hold my file, starting at one end, do a series of strokes until it's cleaned up. I'm not pushing incredibly hard, there's no tanging going on, just a nice little sliding it across, okay? If you file too much, you will dish it out, meaning put a scallop in it, and you want to avoid that. So now the filing creates a little burr as well, so I just did this motion to take it off. And I have filings here, shavings from the scraper, and when you blow those away, it seems like a basic thing to state, but be sure you have your eyes closed so as not to get any filings in your eyes. So we're going to roll it over and now do the other edge. So, ring finger on, holding the file, starting at one end and just working it across. I'm not out here because that's a really hard way to hold it and keep it stable. Finger on, hold it, and just bring it across. When done, although this is only a 1/32 of an inch wide, you folks will soon learn that a 1/32 of an inch is a great deal. So I can see a nice surface that is equal throughout across this whole edge. And at this point, I'm ready to put the burr on it. Putting the burr on it is a 2-step process. Laying it down and then bringing it back, okay? Now, a few things you need to know. Because we're using the back edge of the chisel, and we are always using the back edge of the chisel, we need to have a nice ability to slide. So we hold the chisel in such a way where that blade edge is not covered. We're not grabbing it up here. We're simply holding it with all 5 fingers, but with the center finger, the index finger on the back, applying the pressure. And it's not a great deal of pressure. So in this first step of laying the burr down, we want to take the steel and force it over the edge to create a little burr. So we want the motion of our chisel to be what I call sympathetic. as an example, if this was snow and this was the snow plow, if the plow came through this way, it's pushing the snow to the middle of the road. We don't want that. We're trying to take it off. So we're going to go this way with our chisel. We're going to have it up just a couple degrees, maybe a half of an inch there. And the motion is going to be back edge, base of the chisel to the tip, base to the tip. The way I sharpen a scraper, the motion is always away to, bringing it forward towards me, and I'm applying pressure always on this stroke. I'm never applying pressure this way. It's always as it comes to me in a pulling motion. Now for that first step, it's very simple. We want to hold the scraper towards the edge with our thumb and index finger, or your middle finger. You don't want to have them down here because you don't want to slice your fingers open. Not a good thing. All right, so base to tip, half inch up, handle pointing away, base to tip. So, 1, flip it, 2, 3, 4, and I'm just pushing with my finger there. That's it. I mean, I'm not leaning on it. You'll see some people that do, but that little bit I've done there has created a small burr that I can actually hook my fingernail under and just pick the whole thing up by it. It's just a little itty bitty burr. Now, the third step is to roll the burr back, okay? Things are going to be reversed, a few things. What's not going to be reversed is using the back edge of the chisel. What's not going to be reversed is pressure being applied as I pull it forward, okay? What will be reversed, instead of the chisel going base to tip, we're going to go tip to base, tip to base. All right, and instead of the handle pointing away from me, the handle is going to point to me, okay? And if this is 90 degrees, we're going to probably be 1 degree over, doing this lifting motion, okay? The common mistake folks make is they go like this and they roll it. No, it's a simple motion up. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. You can hear that burr going strong right there. All right. So you can see the shavings that we're getting here. You should be getting a shaving. All right. So you can see these shavings we're getting. It's not just about the sharpening though. It's the usage. Fingers are wrapped around it and thumbs push in at the bottom. All right, if I don't push in, if I just do this, nothing's happening. So I need to wrap my fingers around it, push in with my thumbs, and give it a go. Now you can also do it on the pull stroke. If I'm doing it on the pull stroke, I'm flexing it back and pushing in the middle with my fingers and still getting a good shaving, okay? And then after a while, it gets dull again. You probably need to file like every third time, but in the meantime, it would just be simple, okay. And then we would be ready to go again with our scraper. All right. So, in a nutshell, that's how to do a scraper.